Before we start our video, let me ask you a question. Do you think all books are good? Here are the truths that we need to be aware of. Hello everyone, my name is RKIVE Kim and so glad to see you in this video. And for today's, let's talk about something important. So are all books actually good? We always hear people say that reading is great, the book full of knowledge. But here's the thing, not all books are beneficial. Some can actually be misleading, biased, or even harmful if we're not really careful enough. So as a reader, we need to be aware of a few things before diving into books. For today, I have 8 points. It's quite a lot, but okay, bear with me. Number 1, every book comes from the author's perspective. Books are written by authors who have their own experience, beliefs, and knowledge. That means their personal mindset and bias shapes the message they put into their writing. Sometimes the values and ideas they promote can be helpful, but other times they might not be the best influence. That's why we, as a reader, shouldn't just accept everything as the truth. We need to think critically about the idea that we perceive. The second point, I want you to be aware of authors' backgrounds matters. Authors came from different generation, cultures, and social backgrounds, which mean their perspectives diverse. A book written decades ago might reflect outdated views that no longer apply for today, and if we're not careful, we might absorb the perspectives that don't align with our own values and or the modern world. The third is it's very important for me personally. Some authors they have like the gender bias in their books. I really have an ick with that, Some authors prioritize certain genders over others, intentionally or sometimes unintentionally, reinforcing unfair stereotypes. Instead of promoting equality, they might push biased perspectives that can negatively influence readers. As responsible readers, we should be mindful of this and seek books that offer diverse and fair viewpoints. Number 4, manipulation and persuasion aren't just about sharing knowledge, but they also about they also showing the convincing reader to adopt their author's beliefs, whether it's political, social, or personal opinions. Certain authors try to manipulate their audience into thinking their way is the only right way. This is why we as a reader, we need to read multiple perspectives, and it's very crucial. We should never rely on just one way to shape our understanding of the world. Number 5, the thing that I really want to highlight the most is that some authors they romanticize harmful behavior. One of the biggest issues in modern literature, especially in fiction, is how some books romanticize toxic relationships, domestic violence, and unhealthy behavior. For example, like some romance novels, they highlight about the possessive, controlling partners and make it seem romantic, which is quite weird. But I would say that some people might normalize it. In reality, these behaviors are harmful and abusive. If readers actually young ones, they purchase that book and they read and they observe those ideas without questioning them, they might start to see unhealthy relationships as normal. Number 6 is about hidden religious or political agenda. Some authors insert religious or political ideologies into their books without making it obvious. While it's fine to read about different beliefs, but we also should be careful with the book that try to push a certain agenda onto readers. If we don't recognize this, it can affect our mindset without us even realizing it. Always question what you read and think for yourself. Number 7. Not all authors are qualified. I'm sorry to say this, but the truth that we are facing right now, it's easier than ever to publish a book, which means not all authors are actually experts. You have a money, maybe you double check your grammars and some kind of points, and after that you can publish the book. As a reader, it's important to check the credibility of the author before fully trusting their work. Lastly, some books are just a waste of time. I have bought one book, and after I read those, normally in order to finish one book, we might take, depend on the thick of the book, we might spend like 6 to 8 hours in order to finish it. Sometimes it can take us a week to finish those. And imagine you spend all of those time and those book is very beat around the bush. Have you ever read a book that never gets to the point? As I had mentioned, authors fill page with fluff and unnecessary details just to make their book longer or thicker. In the end, we left with a book that doesn't actually teach us anything new. It's frustrating and feels like a waste of time, and those books is also quite expensive. For our final thoughts for today, do you still think all books are good? Whatsoever, books are powerful tools for learning, but they can also be misleading or harmful if you not really be aware of it. Reading is important, but reading wisely is even more crucial. Let's be a smart reader and make sure the book we purchase, make sure we spend our money and totally gain what we deserve. Alright, so this is for my video, and see you in the next one. Bye.